Hello angels, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hello, it's nice to meet you. My name's Niah and I would literally love it so much if you came to join me and my little family of angels here on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button. So today's video is actually part 2 of a series that I'm doing. So if you haven't seen part 1, then all you need to do is check out my Let's Talk About playlist, which is the name of this series, where basically you guys pick the subjects that you want some advice on and I sit right here and give my opinion, advice, tips on whatever subject you've chosen for us to talk about. So like I said guys, it's a good idea to go and check out that playlist just to make sure that you haven't missed any of this series, or if you want to start on this video then that's fine too. So guys, today I was thinking, let's talk about depression. So I don't know how much you guys know about me at this point of watching this, because I don't know how many of my videos you've actually seen. Some of you guys might have seen all of my videos, whereas some of you guys, this could be the first video that you're watching of mine, in which case you're not really going to know a lot about me. So I'm going to quickly go through my own personal experience with depression before we get into this video. So basically guys, I have an illness where I'm allergic to water and my own sweat, and this leaves me in a lot of pain on a daily basis. But guys, if you do want to know more about that, this video isn't about that. So I'm going to link the playlist on the screen now so that you can go and watch my allergic to water playlist and you can learn a little bit about my skin condition if you're interested. But basically, from my illness, my physical illness, I was suffering really badly with depression until quite recently, to be honest. So I'm going to be blunt about this, I'm going to be honest, because for those of my angels who have been here with me for a long time, you are going to know a lot of this, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, because there are other videos where I talk about it in more detail and I sort of like show more emotion towards the situation. But for today, I'm literally just giving you a summary, so I don't want to get too far into it. But basically, I was suffering with depression as recently as the beginning of the year. I'm going to be honest, I just am. I tried to take my own life at the beginning of this year. I was cutting my arms and it then went on to me having a very messy breakdown around February of this year. I became such an angry mess. Like, I was angry at everyone and everything. Like, I was projecting every single bit of pain that I had inside of me onto the people that I love and to the people around me. And it actually caused me to become quite toxic to the people that I loved. It made me act in a toxic way in my relationship. It made me act in a toxic way towards my family and my friends. And I genuinely just felt an uncontrollable anger towards everyone and everything because of my illness and the way that my life had been affected by it. I can't even believe some of the things that I did and some of the things that I felt inside. But I know very well that at the time it is very real. So I've had a lot of you guys comment on part 1 of this series where I talked about dealing with illness, saying that you wanted to talk about depression. So I'm guessing that a fair few of you may have experienced it yourself, or you've had a close view of it because of a family member or a friend suffering. By the way guys, I'm so sorry about the noise in the background. As I've explained in my past few videos, I'm having to keep my windows open whilst I'm filming just because of the heat. I'm really sorry, it's messing with the sound on my videos, but it's either that or no videos. So I guess that you guys would prefer a video than for me to just not film at all. So depression can show itself in so many different forms, and I feel like sometimes we genuinely don't even know what we're looking for. Like, I certainly know that for a long time I ignored certain behaviors and certain feelings that I had. It was just because I didn't want to be depressed. Like, I knew deep down that I was, it was just I didn't want to be. But suppressing your feelings and ignoring your feelings is so unhealthy. It is really not good for you, and it only, in my opinion, makes the depression harder to get past, because if you're not accepting that you are in a situation where you maybe need a little bit of help, I feel like it's a lot harder for you to come back from it and to recover from it if you can't even sort of like see the problem, if you can't acknowledge the problem. In my case, where I suppressed my feelings of depression for such a long time and even went as far as pretending that they just weren't there, the feelings still came out eventually. My mental breakdown was so explosive. Like, The police came to my house, a mental health nurse came to my house. It was scary and it was messy, and looking back at that now, I feel like I had symptoms of being quite badly depressed for a very long time before I allowed myself to notice those symptoms. Sometimes you're able to convince yourself that what you're doing is okay, even when it's not. And it took me quite a while to realise it's not normal to spend days upon days laid up in bed. It's not normal to not want to open the curtains all day and to lay in the dark. It's not normal to not have an appetite to eat. The way that I'm using the word normal here, like, I don't mean normal as in like everyone else, because what the fuck is normal? I mean normal as in you, normal for you. I feel like once you reach that point of realising that you've lost yourself a little bit, I feel like that's the first step to getting better, and that is one of the most important steps, and often one of the hardest steps to take. In this video, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you like I have the cure to depression, because if I did, then bitch would I be rich. I do not have the cure. I'm just here trying to share my own personal experiences with you so that you guys know that we're in this together. I'm not an expert in this. I don't know everything about this subject, but I know how I felt when I was at my lowest points, and that's what I want to avoid you guys from having to feel. So one thing that I think is very important to remember with depression is that it's not your fault. It's really not healthy for you to sit there thinking like, you know, if I'd done this or if I'd looked after myself better, then maybe I wouldn't be depressed. That is bollocks. It is bollocks. Depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in your brain, which is out of your control. I cannot stress this enough. Obviously, there's things that you can do to help yourself. There's things that you can do to make it easier, but you cannot dodge depression. It's about the things that you put in place in your daily life that encourage you and help you to feel happy and to feel yourself. So one thing that I know helps a lot of people is CBT, so that's cognitive behavioural therapy. I had to really think about that. So that is basically where it teaches you to control your negative thoughts and emotions and feelings, and also helps you to control thoughts of like sadness, self-hatred, that sort of thing. There's absolutely loads of books on CBT, and there are loads of things that you can read online about it as well, which I myself actually read about CBT online. I read a book online. So I read CBT for Dummies, and I'm not trying to mug myself off, like I'm not trying to say that I'm dumb at all, but I started reading that book when I was at my worst mentally. So for me, I needed something that I could kind of guarantee wasn't going to be hard work. It was going to be easy for me to take it in, because to be honest, it just didn't feel like I had a lot of headspace when I was feeling that rubbish to be learning new things. Like, it's not always what you want to do when you're feeling low. So although I recommend CBT, I can't say that it personally worked particularly well for me, because I suffer with obsessive thoughts, and I am also quite a bit of a germaphobe as well. So my doctor felt that I had symptoms of OCD as well as depression, which is why I started taking some medication, just because in my case my doctor felt like I needed that little bit more. CBT on its own just wasn't doing the job for me, but that is my personal experience. It's not going to be the same for everyone, and for so many of you it will be a success. So I by no means am saying don't try it. Definitely try it, because then if it doesn't work for you, you can say that you've given it a go. You can say that you've tried and it just didn't agree with you. So basically I take medication for my OCD and depression. So I'm on some medication called Prozac. Antidepressants are not something to be played with. They are very strong, they are very powerful, and they definitely have the potential to do some harm before they help. It is not always an easy ride when you take antidepressants. There's definitely a period of time where you have to take to get used to it. You feel weird, you feel completely not yourself, and sometimes when you first start taking them, they might even make you feel more depressed than you felt before you were taking them. And now I'm at the point where I've stabilised on a dosage of 60 milligrams a day, which is absolutely perfect for me, and for me that works. For me that is absolutely perfect, and it makes me feel myself. I feel like I had such obsessive thoughts, like things just would go round and round and round in my head and just wind me up to the point where I was just so angry and always ready for an argument, because I was constantly just winding myself up in my head. And my OCD was so bad that I would literally gag and retch using public toilets. So admittedly, it was quite extreme. It definitely wasn't an easy road to get into where I am now, but my attempt at taking my life was in February of this year, and now we're here in July and I feel like a completely different person. If that isn't an example of how things can change and how things can get better, then I don't know what is, because I am now at a point where I wake up every single day looking forward to the day ahead of me. I want all of you angels to know that if you're suffering with depression, or you're suffering with feelings like the ones that I've described today in this video, that's okay. Who isn't suffering with some sort of depression? We all go through it at some point, and we can help each other and love each other until we all reach the point of being who we want to be and who we should be. And also, guys, I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure how many of you guys are into Love Island, how many of you guys watch it. I myself have only seen one series. I only saw the series with like Chris and Kem, and I haven't watched any of the new series either. I know that a lot of you would have heard this by now, but a Love Island contestant from 2016 called Sophie Graddon took her own life recently, which is just absolutely awful. It is awful. I'm not sure if we'll ever know exactly why she did it, but my heart is absolutely broken in two for her family and friends, honestly. And to make it even worse, weeks after her taking her own life, her boyfriend also then took his own life. I also saw the news that someone that I went to school with had also taken his life recently, which is just awful. We weren't particularly close, but my heart is hurting so much for his family. I'm sending my love and support to the families of Sophie Graddon, of Aaron Armstrong. I'm also sending my love and support to the family of the boy who I went to school with as well. Depression is so real, and it can take people from us so much quicker than we realise. I want you guys to remember to check on people around you. Check on their well-being. Check that they're okay. If someone reaches out to you and shows you that they need you, be there for them. If you need someone, please know that there is always someone who is willing to listen. Please don't ever think that the solution to your depression is to end it all. I've realised now that I am in a better state of mind. All that it does is leave a trail of heartbreak, and in my opinion, I think it just kickstarts the cycle of depression again for those around you, for those who have to carry on living without you, and you know, the people that you leave behind. When I was at my lowest and I turned to you angels for support, you held me up and supported me and helped me to feel better. And to be honest with you guys, I really want my channel to be a community where we can look out for each other and look after each other when we need it. Spreading love should be something that we do without a second thought. Love comes so naturally to us. Like, why don't we all just remember to love each other? Below this video, guys, I want everyone that watches this video, comment down below and say I love you, and I promise I'm gonna reply and say it back to every single one of you, because I love you and I'm here for you. I love you guys so much, more than I can even put into words, and I hope that my experience with depression has helped you to realise that depression can hit absolutely anyone. Depression can hit you, it can hit your mum, it can hit your teacher, it can hit your favourite YouTuber, it can hit anyone. So I've left some links down below in the description for you guys, just because I think that the links are really helpful for if you're going through something. If you feel like you've got no one to turn to and you feel like you need a little bit of advice, then definitely utilise those links down below, because they're things that I've used in the past and I genuinely do believe that they are very helpful. So please make sure that you check out some of those links. If you feel like you might be slipping into feeling depressed, just make sure that you check those links out. Alternatively, guys, I am always here for you. Always. Message me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, however you want to talk to me. Please know I'm here for you. I will always be here for you. I'm also going to leave the link down below to the article about Sophie Graddon and Aaron Armstrong, just in case you guys wanted to learn a little bit more about their tragic story. I, for one, was absolutely heartbroken when I heard that not only Sophie had passed away, but then weeks later her boyfriend had chosen to take his life as well. So if you guys wanted to go and read a little bit more about that, then definitely check out that link. The things that I've talked about today are all things that have either helped me or I know have helped other people suffering with depression. So please remember that what I'm saying is coming from experience. I'm not in any way saying that I'm an expert on this. I'm just offering my personal advice from my personal experience. So I hope that you guys have found this helpful, and I hope that this video lived up to what you were expecting. Don't forget to spread the love in the comments, because I will be sending the love right back. If you haven't already, guys, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and that you got your post notifications turned on. Also, guys, don't forget the Let's Talk About series is based on you. It's based on what you guys want me to talk about with you. So make sure that you're leaving your suggestions down below in the comments, anything that you want me to make a video on, and I will do it. And yeah, I hope this video helped. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.